Hello and welcome along to Aston Villa from the stands. I hope you're well. Make sure you smash the like button on this video, whether you're watching on live or replay. Get in the comment section as well, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Wow, hasn't social media got interesting in the last half an hour? Because Alejandro Garnacho has potentially done one of the most poo-house moves I've ever seen in my life. He is now what I would class as either trying to piss Manchester United off so that they force the sell, and potentially twerking for Aston Villa. We're going to get into that massive image. If you haven't seen the image yet, be braced, be ready. But if you have, let me know your thoughts on it right away. It's interesting because I think, again, I'm going to go back to it. As an employee of a club, if you are to post a picture like that in the same league, because we know Alejandro Garnacho is not, he's not an Aston Villa fan. You can't sit there and go, oh, he's a boyhood Aston Villa fan, old Alejandro Garnacho. No. No, let's be serious here. This is an absolute shithouse move to piss off Manchester United, to get his transfer sped up, but also maybe a little bit of a cryptic message as well in there. And we're going to look into that. So big up to everyone. Have a look at this picture right here, right now. Let's get straight into it. I mean, some people are saying, is it AI? First thing for, is this an AI image? What on earth is going on? If I'm a Manchester United fan, I would be absolutely on the ceiling. I'd be on the ceiling. Absolutely on the ceiling. Because this is, quite frankly, unacceptable. Not the level you'd expect of a professional footballer. And yeah, what more can you say? The picture, he's on holiday. He's obviously flaunting his cars, whatnot, and where he's staying. But he's in sliders. He's in shorts, and he's stood there and he's posed with his Aston Villa top on. Did he buy this today? As he had one in his locker? This is what I'm saying. He's not an Aston Villa fan, is he? He's not an Aston Villa fan, and that is where there's big concerns here. It is like watching probably Morgan Rogers put on an Arsenal shirt or Chelsea shirt right now while on holiday. You're not going to be happy with it. You're not going to be happy with it at all. So let's see what happens with that one. It's just unprofessional. I don't like it. I don't see it as a backing of Marcus Rashford at all. Yeah, that's what the image is. But if you're going to back your mate Marcus Rashford, if you're going to be Marcus Rashford's pal, you're going to do it behind closed doors. You're going to, a proper person would be sending him a message going, I hope you find the right club. I hope you go to the right person. I hope you go to find the right opportunity. We've seen it done with Jadon Sancho at Manchester United. We've seen Rashford, again, have discontent with Ruben Amorim at Manchester United. And now Garnacho. And this all stems, again, for the whole point of he got dropped for the Europa League final. He got dropped for the Europa League final. He was on the bench. He was fuming. He was pissed off. He basically said, how can you drop a player like me? I should be playing. Big statement. I've played in all the other games. Don't get why I'm on the bench. Had a massive fallout with Ruben Amorim. Alejandro Garnacho's brothers basically come in and mouthed off as well and said this. And all of a sudden, Garnacho is making out that he is some top dog, absolutely earned the right to say what he wants, absolutely earned the right, apparently, to start every game, especially a final. And now this is sort of another move to say, hey, I'm forcing my move out of the club. But look, let's see what some of you are thinking on it straight away. Big up. Let me know your thoughts and feelings on this one. Michael saying, backing his mate while getting a dig at a club that don't want him. Amron saying, go is just as unprofessional. I look, it's a really interesting point that Michael's making. I'm going to be brutally honest. Garnacho started this whole feud. Him and his family started this whole feud. This is 100% on Alejandro Garnacho. Player power getting too big-headed, too much, and he's tried to force this move. 100%. I'm not having it any other way. To come out and say you should not have benched me, he did not understand why he was on the bench in a Europa League final, to then get his family involved and publicly oust Manchester United, and then basically say, my future, who knows? Looking forward to the break. All that stuff is absolutely wrong. Absolutely, players with some talent potential, but lets himself down way too often. There's too many in professional football. Too many players who have all the talent, all the sort of potential, the high ceiling, and then the attitude off the pitch completely kills them. But what I would say is, John Duran, another fine example. It's the type of move you see John Duran do. Now, when he's at your football club and it goes your way, you're going to go, hey, it's funny. It's funny. And then all of a sudden, when it's against you, it's absolutely criminal. And I think it's gone down really badly with the Man United fans. Right, so I don't want Garnacho. Oh, he doesn't fit for us. No way. Again, it's avoid at all costs for me with Alejandro Garnacho. And it's, again, this sort of attitude, that we're seeing from a player. What is he? He thinks he's too big and good for Manchester United. What, a team that finished ridiculously low in the Premier League this season, an embarrassing finish in the Premier League. A team that didn't show up for a Europa League final. Granted, Garnacho was on the bench, still there. But a team that completely always look to blame the manager. That's my thing with Manchester United players. It's never the manager's fault in their eyes. The amount of managers they've gone through since Fergie and the same systematic problems. Players thinking they're too good, too big for the club. You could even argue Cristiano Ronaldo had that spat with Eric Ten Hag. Ten Hag's got to remind the principals what Alex Ferguson said is that no one is bigger than Manchester United. Was Ronaldo treated maybe a little bit harshly? Potentially. There was a bit of a statement there from Ten Hag. But ultimately, players who go to Manchester United, I think they believe they're bigger than the club. Why I love supporting Aston Villa? I don't think there's one Aston Villa player who thinks they're better than Aston Villa. And if they do, you go. You go. And even Jack Grealish, and people find this uncomfortable, but even Jack Grealish in his heyday for Aston Villa, he was always humble right to the end of his move. Who cares what happens when he goes to City or the aftermath? But when Jack Grealish was an Aston Villa player, you never got the vibe, you never got the energy that this guy thought he was bigger than Aston Villa Football Club. And any time a player does give that vibe, we move them on and they fall out, and the fans recognise that. There is no one in this current Villa team right now who can come anywhere near close to this attitude that Garnacho is showing. And there's no coincidence as well. Rashford comes to Aston Villa. He enjoys the environment that we give him. He enjoys Unai Emery. And he actually, again, has to humble himself, has to come down to earth and say, right, I've got to build my reputation again. I've got to give it my all, train hard, do everything to make myself the player that I need to be. And he gets that reward. And you heard Unai Emery constantly. Rashford works hard in training. Rashford comes in training with a smile. Rashford doing this. I'm telling you now, it's interesting how players have such a massive influence on, their perception and their public image. And I think that Garnacho here completely killed himself with the Manchester United fan base. There is no way back here for Garnacho. Once again, the player is forcing his move and he wants it quickly, clearly. Now, whether anyone has read this as Garnacho actually is twerking for Villa and saying, Villa, come get me, then there we go. But at the end of the day, it's so unprofessional. Now, if that was Garnacho wearing a Barcelona shirt, or Garnacho wearing, a South American team, being an Argentinian, that maybe there's some links there. It's the same if I saw, again, let's go to it. If I saw Tyrone Mings on a holiday and he was wearing a Real Madrid shirt, I'd go, oh, he obviously likes Real Madrid. But we'll be fuming if we saw Mingsy parade around in a Man City shirt. It has to be that. You have to put that same energy in there. So, Captain said nearly 20 years of that has made the club rotten at its core. That's why Man United is broken, because of people like Garnacho who think they're bigger than the club. United and the fan base already want him gone. But yeah, exactly that. Big up to Mokamuku, who says that no discipline in Manchester United compared to Fergie time. Let's go back to that again. This is where managers and I think there's a constant battle at the moment between player power and manager control. Players, once they start underperforming on the football pitch, start to turn into divas, start to turn into high demand, not pretty to see attitudes on the pitch. And what they do is they downplay their tools so that they get their way of the manager going. If the dressing room feels the manager's not their guy, or they don't get on with the manager, or don't agree with what he's doing, they downplay their tools. So Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger could sniff them out like a rat. And what they do is they go, off you go. Off you go. Roy Keane, off you go. David Beckham, off you go. You know, big names at Manchester United at that time, not afraid to go, off you go. But Andy Coles, Dwight York, they were constantly able to recycle players who started to believe they were bigger than the club. This day and age, if you don't want a manager, you downplay your tools. Go back to some of that Chelsea squad under Graham Potter. They didn't fancy Potter at all. They didn't like what was going on with Graham Potter. They downplayed their tools. And you can see it happening. And that is why the belief of the manager, and that's why you can see with Unai Emery, players are encapsulated by this guy. The players believe in Unai Emery, and that's why we are a club in which we are. Jeffrey says, I love Garnacho. Come, he's got that something rather than Garnacho and João Felix. No way. No way. I mean, I wouldn't want either. If I had to choose between Garnacho and João Felix, chat, who are you going for? Let me know in the chat. If you had to choose between those two, Garnacho or João Felix, who would you go for? I'm really struggling, but that maybe Garnacho maybe loves the Villa because he's got the shirt on. You'd never see João Felix doing that. The whole culture of Man United is broken. The owners just want the money. They don't care, and that seeps down. Yeah, captain's spot on. I don't want him, but he's backing himself. United are Champions Grace. Fair play to them. Michael Dimmitt's quite liking it, and fair play. James is saying, if Man U don't sort the mess out, can see them going down. It's a toxic environment. And guess what's going to happen, chat, with Man United? They'll make a few more signings. They've got the same poor dressing room. They've still got some of the same problems, I think. One of them being Bruno Fernandes. I still think he is absolutely the epitome of what's wrong with Manchester United. Right? And guess what's going to happen? Amaron gets to January and they're probably going to look for a new manager. They'll want to chop and change. But yeah, so there we go. I want to know your thoughts on that one. Rachel said, I don't think it's a come and get me play at all, but I do think he's not caring for Man United and what they think. He's beyond. He may as well, I'll be honest, right? Garnacho may as well turn around this photo. Why doesn't he show his face? Why doesn't he show his face? And why does he just may as well stick his two fingers up as well? Or why doesn't he show his face and have a Man United emblem and you know, burn it or something? That's how I see that image. What are you doing? Why? What are they doing? What is he doing? Crazy. Piotr says, why did he specifically bring Aston Villa shirt on vacation to Ibiza for the Instagram? Clearly, he's had this photo planned for weeks. But big up to everyone in the chat. Great to see you. Mustafa, United fans, Josh, how much will Villa pay? We want 40-50. I'm not taking him. I'm not. Well, again, right. I was on a show last night. I'll be really honest. This is my biggest worry. I know I get sidetracked on these shows, and I love it because the chat. You bring the energy, you bring the heat. And if you're loving this show, make sure you smash the like button. Let's get 30 likes on this show right now for me. I appreciate you all. My honest opinion right now is I'm really worried that Villa are going after what I'm going to say very mid to average Premier League players. Garnacho and Nicholas Jackson, two names, right, that people are going to throw at us. Now, whether these rumours are true, whether they carry, let's see. But this Garnacho thing is going to stir the plot, 100%. Whether it's a come and get me play or not, we're going to now have links with Garnacho. Nicholas Jackson's career must be done at Chelsea after that red card again in the Club World Cup. We keep getting linked to him. Those two players in itself make me feel like that's not the players I want at Aston Villa. They're not the players that excite me. I don't think they strengthen our best 11. Or, at times, I think our depth of squad. So, this window has been really weird in terms of the opening of it. We're getting linked to absolute dog dirt, mediocre, average players. And then we're getting linked to young prospects and foreign talent that people haven't quite heard of, which we're going to cover some today. So I love it. I love that there's this mix, but the mid to average Premier League players stay away from our club. Stay away from our club. I don't want it at all. But yeah. Big up to Noel, said 20 years of age, Professor Unai Emery would doubtly get him right, in my opinion. I would not be disappointed with Rocks of Villa. I support any player who represents Aston Villa. I love that positive attitude, by the way. Noel, Anyone who dons the shirt, you give them a chance, you give them an opportunity. I think that's what most Villa fans do sensibly. Again, I'd love to know how people would feel about Jack Grealish doing that again. If as soon as he puts the claret and blue on, are we going to be with this energy? But ultimately, I hope that, not hope, I think I know that Unai knows how to deal with a bad egg. And the reason I'll say that again is, can you imagine managing John Duran every day? Can you imagine it? Can you imagine the absolute bedlam and carnage of managing John Duran every day? Unai Emery's done it. And I think he did it quite effectively and quite well. And tamed him to what he is. Because look how he's gone to Saudi Arabia now, Nasir. He wants out. He's gone. His head's absolutely gone. And they can't even understand how to deal with him. So Unai Emery can tame players, he can control them, he can manage mavericks. Marcus Rashford could be classed as a maverick in some sense because of his fallout at United. This guy is a maverick. This guy's a maverick. Is he justified enough, though, to do this, to have this attitude, and are we going to get something out of him? But yeah, Fergie had man management. Garnacho, I think, is bigger than United jobs. 100%. If we're not paying 40 million for Rashford, no chance of paying more for Garnacho. Agree. Garnacho's not needed in United because he doesn't play well, but character. Man United players are toxic. Yeah, it's toxicity. Masters of psychology, modern day footballers, they all know what they're doing. 100%. Do you know what? They don't even need. Do you know what? It's funny. Sometimes people go, oh, it's their agents. Their agents are telling them to do this. Their agents are in their ear. Oh, Carney, remember the days of Carney Chukwuemeka? Oh, Carney Chukwuemeka's got a really bad agent advising him all this crap, X, Y, and Z. No. These players are not stupid. What about Jadon Sancho? Let's go back to more stuff. What about Jadon Sancho when he commented on Rashford's first ever Instagram post when he made his debut for Villa? What did Jadon Sancho comment? Freedom with the prayer hands. Freedom. What are you doing, Sancho? What are you trying to do? You're still contracted at Manchester United Football Club. So is Marcus Rashford. What are you trying to do? These players know what they're doing. And whether they're brain dead or whether they're smart, you decide. And actually, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat right now. Do you see this as a smart move from Alejandro Garnacho for his career and for himself? Or do you see this as a really stupid, poor move? Some people go, it's not that deep. But I want to know, genuinely, do you think this is a smart move? Think if you were Garnacho right now. Is this a smart move for your reputation, for your career, to do what he's just doing? Considering the fallout after the Europa League final? Or is it absolute brain dead? Does it kill his vibe and reputation? Because I think fans, do you know what? It's us guys. It's the fans. It's the supporters who can sniff these idiots out and know straight away, bad egg. Don't want it. What they do, what they turn up to, make the team. Neither, thanks, Ari playing footy. Exactly. And we can get a tune out of Garnacho. Felix is too old to change his ways. Probably because more about the Rashford name in the picture. I think the significance of Rashford. Right. Plain Aston Villa shirt as well. Let's deep it even further. Plain Aston Villa shirt. I get it. But what it is it's basically a symbolism again of Rashford. Basically, Rashford's been so unfairly treated at Manchester United. And I now know how he feels. That's how I see that picture of Garnacho. I see it quite clearly as Rashford, I'm with you, bro. You got treated badly, and now I'm experiencing the same thing. Screw Manchester United. Screw this club. I see it as that. I really do. Yeah, Big Up Stanley says, hit the like button. We've got over 100 of you in here, and we haven't even hit 50 likes. Let's run those likes up, people. I'd appreciate it. At what stage do we start worrying about next season, truthfully? Sir Jobs, PSR, players more linked with moves that we are linked with signs. Average players linked 20. Look, I think the panic station for me needs to hit if we go to America, the US tour, with no new signings and a few outgoings have gone. I will tell you now, thank you. I will tell you now, anyone who's been in fact, I don't even sound like a second egg, so I'm going to treat you with respect because you know. But yeah, but I will tell you now, my favourite time of the season as a coach and someone who's got, coaching badges and is now coaching again, my favourite time of the season is pre-season. The reason why I love pre-season, the reason why I absolutely adore pre-season is because it's where you get your philosophy. It's where you can practice and find new niches that you couldn't last season. It's a chance to look at new players. It's a chance to see which players aren't up to scrap. But most importantly, it's a way of getting that match sharpness and match fitness. Now, this is a lot of stuff but I promise, from my experience as being a football coach, a manager, I will tell you that it is absolutely my favourite point and part for a reason. Unai Emery, for me, and I'm going to put this out there, Unai Emery, for me, definitely needs to tweak us in possession and out of possession. I think we need to be tweaked in possession to be a lot more fluid. Thank you, love. A lot more fluid, a lot more quicker on the ball, a lot more sharper, a lot more plan B as well. Come do that in pre-season. Let's see a different Unai ball. And you can only do that if you've got your new players in. So if we do not have a new goalkeeper in, but we're going to have one, if we do not have, a new forward in, a new winger, a new right back, and we leave it late, then I'm going to panic a little bit. I'm going to think, bloody hell. And I can guarantee you this. We've not seen it now for the last 2 summers. Aston Villa do not fly anyone out during the pre-season to America. We've never made a sign-in during the I might be wrong here, and if I am wrong, please do correct me. But I feel confident enough to say I feel like we've never made a sign-in in the last 2 US pre-season tours, and someone's come and flow and join us halfway. We've had players from international duty or World Cups or whatever come and join us halfway, but I'm sure we've never made a signing during that US pre-season tour. So yeah, there's my little rant on that one. Apparently Nicholas Jackson is Juventus bound according to Sky. Wow, crazy. Juve's got a weird pool, pool. But yeah, I really do appreciate everyone in here. I really do. Thank you. About that. All rubbish, just media looking after their favourites. We know that some of them pay, don't we? We're going to go into the Emi Martinez story in a second. Just where we never add when we should. Going back to when I think that, and again, Super Matty, appreciate him. Season ticket holder, goes home and away, and I love that. We've got all different fans on this channel. We've got people who go to games home and away. We've got people like me who I'll put my hands up, armchair fans. I watch all the games with you from home. Get to go to the 1 or 2, but we're all fans, we're all supporters, we all see and feel things. I just think if I had to sum up Aston Villa right now is we're so close, but so far. So close, but so far. I feel like we're in touch and distance of where we need to be, but it also feels so far away. And this window feels like it's pushing us back again. The PSR implications pushing us back a little bit. The corruption of the Premier League pushing us back a little bit. All that's for. So yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. Big up. Rachel said Emery won't like Garnacho. I don't think he's disciplined in terms of rotation, going into training, working hard. Rashford Jackson was one. Yeah, and that's a good point about Nicholas Jackson from Rachel, is that actually Jackson's got a good track record with Unai, and Unai will know straight away, good, bad egg. But I think that training part's right. All you ever saw from Unai Emery was his positive comments about Marcus Rashford's attitude in training. And go back to John Duran. I like using Duran as an example because he's played for us. It's been recent. You've seen the John McGinn interview about Duran at that game against Liverpool 2 seasons ago at home near the end of the season. He said, Duran, 1 minute he's magic, 1 minute he's a nutter. He's got to get his head down. Unai Emery constantly saying, Duran, get your head down at training. Let's see where it goes. So there we go. I don't mind this United player wearing a Villa shirt. Shows how far Villa have come. I love upsetting United fans. Good point here. Big up to I Am Titanium. United fan here. I think Garnacho's a good player, but with better coaching, he'll be a world beater. Wow. Okay. This one shocked me a little bit. A United fan actually thinking that Garnacho could be a world beater. They watch him more than we do. He's 20 years old. Who knows? I just think he's got to prove himself a little bit more. I don't know how else to describe it apart from that. But yeah. But yeah, it's funny. It's funny actually that he's begging for us. But yeah, Stan said it's very unprofessional and can't do him any good, any damage. And yeah, as Titanium said, he does have an attitude problem. Steven said it's a publicity stint. They ain't going to pay 50 or 60 million for him. Oh no, 100% it's a publicity stint. It's absolutely that. Again, when you do the same, your employer treat you like that, and you're 20 years old. Not if I wanted a future in that industry, because I don't know. Let's say you're a lawyer or someone in a professional industry. You start to work in. All right, let's go even simpler. You work for Tesco's, and all of a sudden you start wearing the Sainsbury's uniform out and go, "Hey, this is the better business. Big up the Sainsbury's." And then you still have face that you know you're contracted at Tesco's, and then all of a sudden you go to Sainsbury's and it doesn't quite work out there. And then your Asda's and your Morrisons go, "Wasn't that the guy who basically binned off Tesco's, was twerking for Sainsbury's, hasn't worked out. Something doesn't feel right with this guy. I'm going to leave him." That's how I see it. You could have other competitors, other teams, other football clubs looking at him going, "I don't like it." So let's see what his next move pans out. That's how I'll judge Garnacho. Where's his next football club? Where's his next destination? And will it work out well? Or will it quite simply be down the pan, another big mistake, and he's now having to twerk for someone else? But yeah, please do. We should be on 50 likes by now, people. Run those likes up right now. Takes you 10 seconds. Run them up. Get the likes in. And let's run them up for me, please. I appreciate it. A player's doing this for their current club. Why would any club want to take them on back? Exactly that. Standings panicking, like me. Can you see Højlund into... oh, God, I would stay right away from Højlund. When does preseason start? I think it's like 25 days away now, I read. That our first game's against Walsall, like 25 days. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, it's a very weird period for Villa. We keep looking at the date, 8 days till the 30th. What's going on? Kevin is saying, patience is a virtue. Everyone's waiting apart from the usual suspects to buy players. True. Garnacho is very disciplined. Would respond to Emery. Might be a loan deal. That would work. If we had to take him, it's got to be a loan, hasn't it? But yeah, United don't want to loan him, so that's the issue. United are probably sick of having to loan Sancho, Rashford, Garnacho all the time with all these wages, and they're actually thinking, do you know what? We need to move this guy on. Right, away from Garnacho, loving all that debate. We spent a good time talking about him there, and I've really enjoyed that. And by the way, big up to anyone who's new. If you're a Man United fan, if you're a non-United fan, if you're a Villa fan, whatever, do appreciate it. Do keep smashing like. Do subscribe to the channel as well. Really do appreciate it. No, this can't be right. This can't be right. Hold on. Look at this problem at Manchester United. Look at this. From Manchester United. I don't know if this is true. This is the problem at United. These players, liking Alejandro Garnacho's Instagram post with him wearing an Aston Villa top, is disgusting. That is our so-called captain as well. F off a lot of them. They're effing disrespect towards United fans. Again, I don't know how true this is, but you've got Matthias de Ligt, Bruno Fernando, and Kobbie Mainoo apparently all liking that Garnacho post. I mean, dear. Oh, wow. If true, that's crazy. But they're absolutely Man United's in a listen. I don't even have words right now. What's going on at Manchester United right now? Is Emi Martinez okay in the head? Because we're going to talk about Atletico Madrid, but is Emi Martinez okay in the head? Why would you go to this club? It's an absolute mess. It's an absolute mess. It's crazy. Is this right? Is this right? Is this actually Man United fan base is absolutely on the ceiling? I do not blame them. I want to go to this again. I've just come across this. If you're wondering why I've got pictures of Matthias de Ligt, Bruno Fernandes, and Kobbie Mainoo, it's because we'll go to this again. And Heaven. This is the statement. Just take this in. This is the problem at United. Players are liking Garnacho's statement. Frick me. This is actually like again. Oh, is it a mock-up? Damn, this is what I said. I put that disclaimer out. Is it a mock-up? So Weston's coming in and said it's a mock-up. Someone had done on social media. People really use that blanks. Is it? Is it? Is it though? But right. So even if this is true, which now probably is, even if Weston's right, how can we all believe it? Because that is the state of Manchester United. That is the state of Manchester United. That is the state of Manchester United Football Club. That is that believable. It's that believable. It is that believable about Manchester United that their players would do that, even their captain. So Emi Martinez, I even think now you've got to be ill in the head to think that going to Man United right now is good for your career. I actually want someone to sit down with Emi Martinez and just go, "Are you okay?" Like, just real talk now, Emi. Are you okay? Do you know what you're doing? Because you do realise who Manchester United are. You do realise the current climate of what's going on at Manchester United. You do realise, like, even like here's a picture of Garnacho, right? You do realise this goes on at the football club. Speechless. But even this has got merit. Even if that mock-up's true, like this was a bit earlier, and even to the point about Rashford, what I do agree with. If you wondered what is wrong at United, just look at Marcus Rashford doing an interview with Spanish YouTubers and then the Garnacho thing. But Rashford is actively going to find Spanish YouTubers to promote himself, to show his love for Barcelona. You've got to be so careful what's AI and what's not. Apparently Rashford commented, and this looks more real. Apparently Rashford actually commented on the Garnacho thing. My brother. Apparently actually commented my brother. So Rashford's doing his part as well. Because why is this significant? I'll go back to it again. I'll do it again. Jadon Sancho commented freedom when Rashford was playing for Aston Villa, and Rashford never responded. This time Rashford's actually responding. Like, I think they must hate Ruben Amorim. I'm not going to lie. Someone asked in the chat, is it there must be a real toxic, negative feeling around Ruben Amorim at Manchester United. I think the players can't stand him. And I think that Europa League final showed everything you want to know about Manchester United. Their passion, their desire to run for the badge was there to see. So Emi Martinez needs help. Emi Martinez needs help, massive help. And we're going to go on to that. I know I keep saying it, but there's just the Garnacho news is crazy. I don't think Atletico Madrid would be a good move for Emi. Him and Simeone, Jan Oblak will come into that now. Any more points on Garnacho? Yeah, there's so much unprofessionalness. There's so much there's so much wrong with that football club. And I just want to know why would you, like, even Brian Mbeumo, right? Let's even go to that point. Why is Brian Mbeumo? Why is Cunha? What are they doing with their careers, knowing this is the environment they're walking into? Maybe that's right. And Weston's actually saying maybe it was real. If anyone can actually officially confirm to me that if Bruno Fernandes and that has liked that photo, that club's gone. That club's gone. I'm sorry. And if anyone wants to convince me otherwise, if it's an Aston Villa player, and again, let's go back to Aston Villa. If we saw that within our own squad, I'm saying Unai Emery's lost the dressing room. That's the first thing I'm telling you. First thing I'm coming on this live show is saying Unai Emery's lost the dressing room. We can't be having that crap. Unai Emery's lost the dressing room. How can players be that ill-disciplined, not respect Unai and the project to go and do that if that happened to us? Okay, big story coming out then about Emi Martinez. We're talking about the fact that he's been monitored again by none other than Atletico Madrid. Here it is. Atletico are understood to be monitoring Emi Martinez's situation and would look at a deal if Jan Oblak leaves. Now, the other day, I was trying to find any Jan Oblak rumours. I couldn't find Jan Oblak rumours. In fact, it was very frustrating. And so I did see someone say, oh, potentially Jan Oblak goes to Saudi. Now, again, how, correct this is about Emi Martinez. We've seen the Manchester United links. The story that keeps coming out about Manchester United is that it's all on Andre Onana. And AS Monaco apparently aren't interested, even though that came out. Although, I don't know if you have seen the big AS Monaco news. Paul Pogba about to rejuvenate his career and sign for AS Monaco. But yeah, there is big talk then on the fact that, Emi Martinez and Atletico Madrid, would we be interested in him going there? I think it's a really big part. And here's the added on part about Manchester United. So there we go. It says this. Atletico Madrid are monitoring Emi Martinez's situation. Should Oblak leave? While Manchester United have been linked with Martinez, it is understood that a deal is not something currently being looked at. At the end of the day, I 100%, would rather see Emi go to another league, go to Atletico Madrid. If he wants to play in the Champions League, if he wants to play under Simeone. By the way, think about this: 2 Argentinians, Diego Simeone, Emi Martinez, both absolutely nuts as well. They'd be a great pairing, wouldn't they? You could see it happening. Atletico, challenge for titles. Just that team again in the Champions League. They're the type of team who could one season go on a run and get to that final. They've done that before previously. They do look good, Atletico, and they're starting to build something quite nicely. So that can happen. But yeah, let's see what happens with that one on there. But I would rather see Emi go to Atletico. Big up Jono, by the way. Didn't Mings do the same thing when he left Bournemouth, stood by the train station in tracksuit? Yeah, true. True, because we knew it was coming to us. And that's what I'd say. If it was the other way around, I'd absolutely love it. I think we always knew that Tyrone Mings was going to sign permanently, and he was twerking. But that's a very good point on sort of double standards, Jono, and I appreciate that. But that was after the deal was finalised, was it? Is that true? If so, then he's in his right to. Let's see, though. But yeah. So Emi to Atletico. I also feel, if I'm being really honest, Atletico will probably pay the money for Emi. Whereas I think Man United will piss around again and not pay us a fee. Right, what I'm doing is just quickly searching Jan Oblak online and seeing what the situation is. Right, I've got something here in Spanish. So. They are in the Club World Cup, aren't they? Atletico Madrid. So again, they can't be that much. I'm pretty sure. Is he a captain as well? But yeah, there is no rumours of Jan Oblak leaving. I'm trying to find if there's any Saudi links at all, but I don't know. Has anyone seen any Jan Oblak rumours leaving? I'm just going to put Jan Oblak Saudi and see what happens. I've seen no Jan Oblak. Yeah, I'm struggling. This is May the 21st from the Mel Sport. This is May the 21st from Mel Sport. By the way, what a keeper Jan Oblak is. I don't know if anyone's seen that he has. Quick bit of praise for Jan Oblak. Pretty tough keeper to replace or to follow behind. Jan Oblak's had 6 Golden Gloves in La Liga. That's really impressive. To think as well that he's not playing for either Barca or Real Madrid, the top teams, to say that he's actually kept the most clean sheets, that's credit to the way Diego Simeone sets up. That's credit to Jan Oblak and the defence. He looks good. This is the only report I can see. I'm going to come to the chat in a second. Guys, we need to hit that 50 likes on the stream, so do smash the like button if we haven't already, please. It says here, Atletico Madrid will move for Emi Martinez only if goalkeeper Jan Oblak can be persuaded to accept an offer from the Saudi Pro League. Well, that was the Mail Sport, and that was 21st of May, so a month ago. It's the only rumour I can find of Oblak. So the only rumour I can find is Oblak. So basically, if he was to facilitate a move to Atletico Madrid, we're looking at the Saudis again to come in and do their thing. And everyone was saying, "Oh, Saudis have lost their pool because of people like Bruno rejecting them, Emi rejecting them." Apparently, Teo Hernandez is back on, so let's see what happens there. Quality keeper Jan, again, underrated. Doesn't get spoken enough about as one of the best shot stoppers in the world ever. You never hear anyone ever put Jan Oblak in their top 3 keepers in the world. Never. Which is crazy. I think, again, it comes down to maybe the country he plays for. I think he's Slovakian. Serbian? Well, no, not Serbian. Slovakian. I think I'm right in thinking that. And then second of all, because it's Atletico Madrid and they're always in the shadow of Real and Barca. Stephen saying, Emi going as the Aston Villa board, putting all their eggs in the Champions League basket and United are the villain because the 2-0 cost you the place. Wow. And the referee. And the overall season, but there we go. Apparently All Blacks on a new deal in March. I think we would work with Atletico to get a payment schedule to fit both teams, whereas with Man United, it needs to benefit Villa 100%. Otherwise, we're strengthening a rival and weakening ourselves, agree. But I just watching Manchester United, they're a funny old side when it comes to paying up. They like to drag every penny and every payment, and they're an odd side indeed. We know United are waiting for the last minute. What a way to behave for the so-called bigger club. Yeah, it's true. I can't be dealing with them. If Emi does leave, I still don't think he will. I'd test the water of Everton and go for Pickford and get Ramsdale as backup. Well within PSL and both extremely underrated. Ooh, not expecting that from the Superman. Do you know what I'll be real. First thought when I see Pickford and Ramsdale, both times when I see their names, these are the 2 things that always come to my mind with those goalkeepers. I'm not tall enough. I don't know why. I'll be real. As a goalkeeper, someone, when I'm scouting and looking at players, goalkeeper for me has got to be 6'2", 6'3" plus. I ain't having a short goalkeeper. I'm certainly not having a goalkeeper who can get lobbed. And the second one I've got about Pickford and Ramsdale is mentality is, I know all goalkeepers are nuts, but I don't think they've got the... I'd say Pickford's improved. I think Pickford's improved massively, but I think the concentration and temperament of Aaron Ramsdale is just not good enough. And I think Pickford, his temperament sometimes goes off the scale. But that's the same with Emi. Do you know what I mean? So keepers are nuts. What you know is you never sign in a normal goalkeeper. Are you? But when you're signing a goalkeeper, you never get one who's just a calm, chilled guy. It just doesn't exist. So there we go. But yeah, let's see what's happening in the chat. Big up to Alan Ford, my lord. So just a bit late, have been the shop for Probs. Big up to you, Alan. Welcome in again. Hope you're good. Weirdly, Heidi and I were talking about you the other day, saying we sing your song, Old Alan Ford, my lord, out of the blue. So there you go, a legend in the household. And big up to Vamos VJ, Vamos VJ, Vamos. Big up to my guy, super duper mod, Vamos the VJ. Thanks for the super chat, buddy. I really appreciate that. And by the way, I appreciate everyone who's in here tonight. A really good turnout on a Sunday night. As I said, we are going to be consistent. It's live streams every night. Unless something seriously bad has happened or seriously good has happened, I won't be able to go. I will be coming live and doing these video shows around 8:30. Sometimes I've got to go a little bit earlier. But yeah, I really appreciate all the support. So big up to everyone. Thank you. And I hope you're enjoying the show as much as I do in doing it. If Emi goes, I think Chevalier is a good one. I said his name wrong. Chevalier. I say it wrong all the time. I keep getting corrected. Apologies if I butchered it, but you know what I'm trying to say. And yes, need to get Lucas. That's why I'm keeping it as well. We need to keep Lucas. We do need Lucas. The more reports that I've seen about this goalkeeper, the more excited I'm getting. This scene is high. Big up to Dugout Football. He said, "What's this about Garnacho?" Let me just quickly show. If anyone who's just come in, I'll show it one more time. Garnacho has been twerking. No, not twerking. Let's not put that. Garnacho has been disrespectful to Manchester United by I don't even know how to describe it. He's just been a prat. And yeah, so this is for anyone who still doesn't know the Garnacho news. Garnacho's in Ibiza with is that a Ferrari? No, that's a Porsche. I don't even know. I should not guess cars because I'm crap at cars. But yeah, more importantly, there's Garnacho in a Marcus Rashford Villa shirt while still being a Manchester United player. Manchester United fans are having a meltdown. Mark Goldbridge, I think, is live now having a meltdown. It's hit the fan base hard, and I feel the same. So yeah, I'd be feeling the same. So there we go. But yeah, Jan Oblak. the only place I can see him going is Saudi at the moment. Yeah, this was the most embarrassing thing, right? Actually, this is where I knew Aaron Ramsdale's career would never last at a team like Arsenal, who are trying to win titles. He actually said on an interview with Ian Wright, didn't he? He said, sometimes I lose concentration and I'll see a pigeon and I'll get distracted by it. And then he says, that's why I've got to get myself back in the game and I've got to get going with the crowd, or I've got to make a big save or a punch. I'm thinking, did you honestly just admit that you lose concentration? Freaking nuts. Freaking nuts. Yeah, Ramsdale's got a terrible relegation record. Big up to Jono. Great combo. We're going to go into Bakayoko in a minute as well. The chat's flowing today, so I love it. Supermax says, no one ever saw Emi become an Emi before we signed him, though. He spent more time at loan at Arsenal, is true. Never underestimate number 2, 3, hardest position. Mentally as well. Now, I'm interested to see how old Quavo, oh no, that's not his first name, but Kiefer Kelleher, basically. Call him Quavo Kelleher. He's gone to Brentford as first choice keeper after being Liverpool's number 2. Let's see how good he is a season at Brentford. Let's see how good he is as a season at Brentford. We're not sure, Kenem, but he certainly doesn't want to play for Manchester United. My one stance on Garnacho is, I think we know he doesn't want to play for United. Think about it, we might have it all wrong. It could be a criticism saying, oh my God. What about this? What about this? Johnny's coming in with some bangers on the chat today. I didn't even think of that. Maybe Garnacho has been paid by Aston Villa to promote that Rashford's coming to us. Maybe this is part of the announcement video. And what happens is Rashford's our number 9, and Garnacho is also going, hey, and I'm coming as your number 19 or something like that. Yeah. Who knows? But no, I do think it would be very outrageous if he did try and announce Rashford like that. Oh, imagine if he wanted to piss off Man United and Villa by doing that, because Villa rejected Garnacho. There could be all sorts of connotations around this story, couldn't there? But yeah, Quaver, you know the drill, Alan Forward, you know the drill. Right. Next one. Apparently Jude Bellingham scored again. I can't stand that guy. Does anyone else feel the same about Jude Bellingham? Don't know if it's just me. I really struggle to watch Jude Bellingham play. Really struggle to watch him and his attitude and everything. Right, let's go into some more of the Villa links. Right, here's the interesting things now. Players are getting linked left, right, and Wigan. And this is quite an exciting one. I like this one a lot. Aston Villa are in the picture for Johan Bakayoko. Now, why do we love a bit of Johan Bakayoko? Well, he is a Belgian footballer. Again, Villa love the Belgians, it seems. He is an attacker, and he has a very good age of 22 years old, which means that there's lots of potential there. So he's a forward player. Now, why is this guy interesting? Because he's been, again, touted around Europe as a sort of hot prospect, someone to cast your eye on, someone to keep an eye on, and a big ceiling. And he, for me, is another type of player that Villa, if they want to go cheaper on and develop, this is the sort of guy. Now, again, we talk about the fact that we've been linked to Jesus Rodriguez. By the way, anyone who was in my watch on last night for the England under-21s, Jesus Rodriguez, the Real Betis guy, came on the pitch for the last, I think, 12 minutes of the game. He squared up Livramento once, and then he did the most shithouse thing ever. He tried to dive. Jesus Rodriguez, the Villa player, the Real Betis player that Villa have been linked with up against Como, came on that left wing. I don't know if anyone else saw it. He did the most disgusting dive ever, and a few England players surrounded him. And that was before it all kicked off at the end. And I thought, you know what, Jesus Rodriguez, you can do one. If you want to throw yourself around like Tom Daly, right, don't ever think about wearing the claret and blue. We don't want that shit at our club. And the England players didn't respond well to that. But again, these profile of young, emerging European talents. Well, here's Johan Bakayoko for you to see. His contract runs out next season at PSV. He's 22 years old, Belgium international. Played 18 appearances for Belgium at 22, so breaking in there. 30 minutes. Have a look at his stats, though, for PSV. which is quite interesting. Stats of PSV. Steve Matt, what do you think of realistic signs after Josh, and what should be our three priorities as stands and everyone does stay? Three positions. Give me that right back. Give me. I'm not one of these who wants a young number 9. I want a ready-made number 9 who's going to push Ollie again. And I think we could do with another goal-scoring winger. I think we need to add. I think that with Leon Bailey's numbers last 2 seasons ago, that was key for our success. I think we needed a goal-scoring winger. I think we need, and this guy, looking at it, could be the guy. I think we need a goal-scoring winger. So I'm going right back, number 9, and a goal-scoring wide forward. I think we can live with our centre mids. We've got enough of them. I think that the right back, hopefully can play a bit of centre back. And then obviously the goalkeeper sort of speaks for itself if Emi goes. If Emi stays, then we're fine. But yeah, I want a goal-scoring winger. I want a goal-scoring winger. I think that's where our numbers let us down last season. We didn't score enough goals. Apart from Ollie Watkins and Morgan Rogers, we didn't score enough goals. And Rashford tried to step in and be that guy. But yeah, Bakayoko, 30 appearances. And my one concern is about this Bakayoko stats is, if you look, he made 30 appearances out of 34, but he only started 15 of those games. And then 52% of the minutes. So his minutes kept getting cut short. It wasn't quite a regular starter at 22. But even then, he had 10 GA in 30 appearances. So not bad for 9 goals. Something that I think Unai Emery, again, could elevate in him. Something that would be good. Champions League, again, 12 appearances in Champions League. So he's got European experience. I don't know what these are, some Dutch Cups. But yeah, not bad for a player who only started 50% of the game and played 50% minutes. And then he's none of these can play anywhere across the front four. Donyell Marlin, that's your problem. He's actually saying I'm a right winger and nothing else. So this could be a straight Leon Bailey replacement, in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts on Bakayoko. A right winger, 10 GA, bags of potential, Belgium international, and someone I think that, got that eye for goal, clearly, with 9 goals. And only 15 starts. Not bad. I love Bakayoko. He's absolutely rapid, but has a finish in him as well. Love that, Noel. Love that. Does the club have PSR issues? Can the club afford these transfers? We'll be fine after the 1st of July. 1st of July, you might see Villa knock a couple of transfers in the first week or two. Villaman Cloudy wants us to sign a right back, centre back, left winger. I'm all for the right wing replacement at the moment. If we keep Jacob Ramsey, I think that and Bailey goes, we definitely need to strengthen our right-hand side. I don't want to see Morgan Rogers out there. Big up Ken M, the man, the myth. He is here. Ken M, big up to him. Thank you again for your support, Ken M. You're a legend. Appreciate your super chat. I know you enjoy these shows. And we've hit 52 likes, so that's quality. Agree with Bellingham, but Malin could be that winger next season. Again, I know Luke from Up the Villa on his second channel has done a video for Donyell Marlin's position, basically. All right? I think it's an absolute worry when you sit there as a fan, as a supporter, and you're still going, well, what position does this guy play? How do we not know that? At least we know of Bakayoko. With Bakayoko, we're signing a right winger. That's his position. The fact that we're still having this Don Malin argument and discussion worries me. Worries me. So yeah, I'm not a fan of what I'm seeing. I'm not a fan of it at all. And yeah, we have to lock down people in their correct positions. Okay, one final story to share with you. Let me give you a second. I just got to put out. We also got linked to. So I'm all for Bakayoko on that right wing. I think that's going to be a good one. Again, we've been linked to a few other players, but this one caught my eye. Again, a player that we forget that we have in terms of PSR. Here he is, Kane Kesler-Hayden. Preston North End's player of the season. There's a lot of talk about him at the start of this window, and this was massive. But again, the price tag maybe a little bit underwhelming. Kane Kesler-Hayden is a target for Middlesbrough, which could see 3 million pure profit for the PSR balance sheet. 3 mil for Kane Kesler-Hayden. I mean, we'll take it because he's never going to play. But there were people at one stage saying maybe Kane Kesler-Hayden, should have been Villa's right back. I've heard some of those shouts before. Kane Kesler-Hayden should have been Villa's right back. What are we doing? Why are we letting this guy go? Personally, for me, Kane Kesler-Hayden will never be Villa's right back. And so we're making the right choice by selling him on. And 3 million pure profit. We can't really complain about it, can we? You sort of take it. But yeah, this is the most exciting transfer I'm about to show you now. Now, again, how relevant this one will be and how accurate, I don't know. But we'll take it with a pinch of salt, won't we? Is Feyenoord's Feyenoord's left winger. Let's get into this one as well, because this is exciting stuff. Now, this is the guy. This is the guy. I think Rachel's just said in chat, I'm more interested in the links with him. Absolutely. Aston Villa are exploring Igor Paixao's situation at Feyenoord. We're starting to look at wingers. We're actually going for wingers. We're going for exciting wingers, and we're going for wingers who are going to do bits. Now, this is from a Feyenoord account. If you want to translate that, some media news. When Feyenoord's there, we are great. So media news and company. They class themselves as a Feyenoord journalist, specifically. But yeah, this is exciting. Aston Villa exploring Igor Paixao's situation at Feyenoord. Let me show you a bit more about this player and why you should get excited about him. Because this guy's a baller. This guy's a baller. Big shout out again to Alan Ford, my lord, Alan Ford. Alan Ford, my lord, Alan Ford. Alan Ford, my lord, Alan Ford. Oh, Lord, Alan Ford. The Lord has spoken. He has submitted a super chat, and we appreciate him. Our resident golfer, Alan Ford, my lord, legend. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. And big up to everyone in the house. Make sure you smash the like button and subscribe him. And yeah, can someone tell me who we will sell before the 1st of July? It's as good as a guess as anyone. Maybe we won't. It's even the other dramatic situation. Imagine we get to the 30th of June and we still haven't sold anyone. Be nuts. Right, here we go. Brazilian. This could be interesting. This could be exciting. This could be the one that gets you off your seat. This is the one you can get you off your seat. Igor Paixao. 24 years old. Left winger, Brazilian under 23, so not quite broken into the Brazilian first team squad yet. 35 million. Have a look at this guy. He started every game for Feyenoord. Look at that numbers. This is the guy. Throw everything at him. Throw everything at him. You want to see numbers? You want to see it? Got a GA? Man's got 30 GA in 34 appearances. 34 games, 30 GA. 16 goals, 14 assists, 100% of the time he's in the starting 11, 94 minutes. And we're getting linked to dusty players like Garnacho. We're getting linked to dusty players like Sancho, Nicholas Jackson. Here he bloody is in our eyes. This guy right here. This guy right here. The Brazilian answer to our crisis. Igor Paixao. I hate butchering surnames, so I'm just going to call him Igor. Absolute Don. These numbers are what I'm talking about, Villa fans. These numbers are what I'm talking about. 23 years old, 22 years old, did I say? Don. Get him in. Get this guy in. Because Garnacho, fair play, Alex, trying to sell us Garnacho. When I'm looking at this guy's numbers, I'm not having it. Give me this guy. I don't know if he's linked to anyone else. That's what I now need to look at. Are we in competition with anyone for him? But we're exploring a situation. That could be anything to what's he doing these days? Is he willing to move? How much? Igor, come to us. June 19th, apparently Arsenal linked to him. Aston Villa put the name. He's high on the list. Left winger. high on the list. He's a wizard. Arsenal were linked to him last month. This is good. This is good. We're actually really heavily in for him. Tottenham apparently have scouted at him. Okay, this is good. I'm just looking at any other links. We're willing to pay the asking price for him as well. So the only difference is to Bakayoko. I mean, imagine this. I mean, he can play on the left or right. But imagine this. Imagine Villa get Bakayoko and Igor. Someone help me pronounce his surname for me, please, in the chat. Like, give me some phonics again. Imagine if we sign these two. Imagine if Villa have a really electric two wingers. That's what I love. That's what I love. I just go back to that season Leon Bailey had. Every time Bailey got the ball, he drops his head, he takes people on, he's pacey, he's creative, he looks quality. I miss that this season. I didn't like watching Morgan Rogers stuck out on that right-hand side. I didn't like the fact that, the left-hand side was a little bit more inverted at times and having John McGinn out there sometimes and Jacob Ramsey was fit. I just want my wingers to be dons of one-on-ones, people who are going to be adding goals. And I'll say this again, Villa simply need more goals in the side. Villa need more goals on the side. We could not be having a situation again where I think after Morgan Rogers, it was either Asensio or Rashford who are third top. No, sorry. Let me correct that. Aston Villa's third top goal scorer this season was John Duran, who left in January. That's where we were. John Duran was Aston Villa's third top goal scorer. So, yeah, Brazilian players, absolutely. And these wages would be good as well. It'd be a hard deal for Paixao, but that would be something for us. I think he would be absolutely perfect for us. Him and Bakayoko. I just can't get over his GA. 30 GA and 34 goals. Why is he not being spoken about more in Europe? Why is this guy not being spoken about more in Europe? Why is he not being absolutely headhunted? Those are unbelievable numbers. And then you've got, I don't know. This could be the one. I quite like it. But we're constantly getting linked, constantly having different solutions and ideas thrown in our face, and constantly having to see what happens. So, look, it's been a massive day. I thought, God, this was a bit of a quiet Sunday, and it all came alive. It all came alive, and all thanks to Garnacho, it's absolutely sparked massive interest, massive controversy, and things that we love to see. So, yeah, we're all for it. Look, let's put it to perspective. Tomorrow will be a week till that 30th of June deadline. We're still none the wiser about what's happening. If Kesler-Hayden starts the ball rolling, then so be it. But Aston Villa are very much keeping us in the dark. As I said, I can imagine a world, right, where the 30th of June lands and we're all in meltdown and panic going, what's happening? What's happening? Why haven't we sold anyone? And then all of a sudden, Villa dropped this massive post going, we've sold the women's team or we've done this and we're all good now and blah, blah, blah. So there could be a world where that happens, but we're getting hungry. We're getting hungry. We're getting hungry for signings. We're absolutely starving for signings. We're starving for answers. And let's just remind ourselves where we're building up to, chat. We are building up to the key date, which is, it's coming thick and fast, by the way. It's coming thick and fast. But this is just a quick reminder, and I'm going to keep reminding people on my streams that Walsall, get it penciled in, 16th of July. 16th of July, we play our first preseason game. Is that not madness? 16th of July. And then we've got Hansa, whoever they are, and then we're off to America to play Eintracht Frankfurt, St. Louis, Nashville. Crazy. So when we talk about getting players in, Villa need to be making signings before or around the 19th of July. That's why I'm sort of giving us a deadline. If we haven't got 2 or 3 players in by the 19th or 20th of July, I'm going to be a bit pissed off. I want new players going to that US tour, being ready for it as well. We need football teams to be frightened of our wingers. We certainly do, Ken. And Alex says Brazilian wingers are the best in the world. Yeah, even Anthony got out of Manchester United and looked good, didn't he? So it's hope for everyone. But yeah, not long until Our first preseason game against Walsall. Very excited for that. Have missed doing the watch-alongs as well for that. I've been doing some neutral watch-alongs. Not as fun. But still good to talk and chat with you guys, but not as fun with the emotional side of the football. You're sort of just passively watching and more interested in what the chat's got to say and talking other crap. Rachel, I think the science is a good thing. Last year we were in worse position, so a lot needed to change, but I could be wrong. I think that's the one thing. Not one Villa fan's got a Scooby-Doo, have we? And we're all coming up with scenarios and situations, and we're guessing, and we just haven't got a clue. We haven't got a clue, and that's the crazy thing about it. But chat, you've all been amazing. I really appreciate all your comments tonight. We'll be back again tomorrow for what will be. Who knows what's going to come tomorrow? Who knows what's going to come tomorrow? But before I do, actually, I've got to quickly say, my daughter, I'm really proud of her. She has got a little YouTube channel, and why can't you got to do it in capitals, haven't you? See, I hate searching for a name on here because it never works. It's not coming up again. Why? Look at this. Try and do it. And it's not coming up. Stuff. Here we go. Found it. We've got to change. It's not sunk in yet. Here we go. Right. She does little shorts, right? And she's a big Cristiano Ronaldo fan. She's done some Doué ones. She's done some Matoma ones. And we're encouraging her because she can't get a job. So she wants to earn money. And we said, well, why don't you do some content creating? So please, can you take just 30 seconds of your time to subscribe to my daughter's YouTube channel? That would be really appreciated. It's at Purely7. It's just there. It's not easy to find, but we've got it. It would literally take you 30 seconds to do so. She's on something like, let's have a quick look. She is on 257 subscribers. So if we could get her to 300 subscribers like that, that would be like magical for her. Make my night as well. So yeah, do subscribe to Purely7 for me. That would be great. She's going to put out more shorts. And if you like her editing style, she's going to actually be doing some Villa shorts for me as well. She captains her story. How about some Watkins vids? Well, that's going to be for our channel. You're going to see her do some shorts edits for me like she does on her channel. And I've got to pay her, haven't I? I've got to keep her in business because she needs a job. She's only 13. She needs a job. So I thought, let's get her doing some editing. So she's going to do... maybe we'll get some players listed out of players' edits you want. But yeah, we will get some Villa shorts edits from her on this channel. But she's got her own little one as well, which I'm encouraging her to be consistent with, graft. Because it keeps me in line as well. It means I've got to stay consistent on this one if I'm telling her to... if I'm telling her to be consistent, then I've got to practice what I preach and I've got to stay consistent on here. So we're pushing each other. Look at that. But big up to everyone. Tony Parr has just subscribed to Purely. Thank you, Tony. Really appreciate it. It's going to make a day. She could cover some of that as well. Cool boys, you're right. And do smash the likes on your way out. I'm going to bounce out of here. Check my pinned comments. Subscribe to Purely. Have a good rest of your Sunday. Let's see what Monday brings. And I'll be live 8:30 tomorrow. Get your notification bell on. Switch it on. Let's go enjoy another Villa talk show tomorrow. And appreciate all your support out here. I'm out of here, people. Enjoy your Sunday. Big up to everyone in the chat. Oh, and again, just want a special shout out to Vamos VJ, Ken M, and Alan Ford, my lord, for the super chats. It's greatly, greatly appreciated and very kind of you all. Latest to you all. Go sub to Purely. I'm out of here. Up the Villa. Ta-da.